good, you're home. I've been looking forward to seeing you all day long. How was your day? Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, let me just work my magic and let's see if we can turn things around. Let's see here. So first things first, what do you want to drink? Alright, I'm on it. Why don't you go sit down at the table and I will make these drinks and we'll just do like a little pampering session today for you. How does that sound? Maybe a little scalp massage. Maybe I'll trim up that beard of yours. No, I'm not gonna shave it. Trust me, I think it looks incredibly sexy. Just trim it a little bit. Rub some beard oil in there, you know, like the works, the full treatment. You go sit down and I will be over there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Alright, so I got some juice for us. This is pineapple, pear, ginger, and mint. It's so delicious. It has like a really unique flavor to it. The ginger mixed with the pineapple. Absolutely delicious. Alright, so let me pour a little of this for both of us. Yeah, I just discovered this place. It's like a block from the house and they make all of their cold pressed juices fresh every day. Alright, so here's yours. Set that down and then one for me. So good. Did you try it? Yeah, it has like a little kick to it. It's the ginger. It's delicious. Well, there's more to go around. Alright, so why don't you sit down and then we'll start with that scalp massage. Okay, great. Are you comfortable? Perfect. I know I'm obsessed with this juice. It's so good. I love ginger. Alright, so why don't you just sit back and relax. Yeah, the day is over. You're home now. And I think that tonight, I think we should have like a movie night. I'm thinking 80s horror night. What do you think? Yeah. Well, I got inspired to do an 80s horror night because I was just reading this interesting article about Wes Craven and how he decided to like come up with the whole Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. It was actually surprisingly, I'm going to start with your beard, it was actually surprisingly based loosely on a true story. I know, that's shocking and kind of horrifying, but it is. So let me drop some knowledge. So apparently, I'm just taking a tiny bit off, so don't freak out. Apparently, he was reading this article in the Los Angeles Times, and it was about the Southeast Asian refugees that, just hold your head still for a second. So apparently these refugees were rescued and they were brought to America, but they were complaining about really, really bad nightmares. I love your beard. And so they were trying to stay awake as long as they possibly could. However, like eventually, you know, they would just fall asleep just based on pure exhaustion. And then they would wake up screaming and then just end up dying. And when they would do the autopsies, they discovered that they did not die of heart failure. There was nothing like physiologically wrong with them. They were healthy young adults. They just died from whatever they were scared of seeing in their dreams. So Wes Craven was like really fascinated by this, and it actually inspired the whole like Nightmare on Elm Street idea. Yeah, no, you can Google it. I was just sort of kind of stumbled upon it the other day. I thought it was such an interesting fact. I know, so crazy, huh? And then I was also reading that apparently the name Fred Krueger, so that was like his arch nemesis in grammar school. Apparently he had like a paper route, and this kid Fred was like a real jerk, and Fred would bully him, and so he ended up naming the character Fred Krueger. It's kind of funny. Good way to get back at childhood enemy. I'm gonna put a little beard oil on there. I love the smell of this stuff. It's so good. Smell it. So amazing. Yeah, so I thought that, I don't know, that we could just watch maybe some Nightmare on Elm Street action. I haven't seen it in forever. Is the first one the one that has Johnny Depp where he gets like pulled into the bed? I can't remember. Oh yeah, no, wait, that's later on, you're right. I remember that nursery rhyme, I think when the girls are jump roping, I believe is when they say it. They're like, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your doors. 5, 6, get your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again. I don't know, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but somehow I remember all of that. I have a weird memory when it comes to lyrics. I could not hear a song for over a decade, sometimes longer, and then it comes on and I can just sing the entire thing, like word for word. Once I hear something, I never really forget it. Kind of a photographic memory. Oh, yeah, I was just flipping through this book. I had gone to see that exhibit, remember? With my mom, the Van Gogh exhibit. I got this book there. It's quite heavy. Yeah, no, Starry Night is beautiful, but I think my absolute favorite painting is the one with the irises. It's like a whole field of purple irises. And then there's one white iris. And he actually painted that when he was in the insane asylum. Kind of a crazy story. Yeah, and I'll show it to you. So, he'd always, suffered from some like inner demons. The only time he could sort of escape that was through his paintings. And you can kind of see through just the urgency and like the desperation in the brush strokes, like he was just trying to like escape from something, go to some other place in his head. So towards the end of his life, when he was in this insane asylum, he was looking out the window and he was painting the irises that were outside of his window. So many beautiful pictures in here. But so they're all purple, but then there's this one white iris, and like I have no idea if like this is how he actually felt, but in my head I'd like to kind of think like he felt like that one lone white iris amongst a whole sea of purple flowers. It was, so different. And the thing about being a white iris is, you might feel like isolated and you might feel like you're alone. But, no one ever remembers the purple irises. They only remember the one white one that stood out, that was different from the crowd, willing to take risks and go in their own direction. And it kind of reminds me of you, honestly. You're my little white iris. You're just so unique. There's no one else like you in the entire world. You're just one of a kind. Yeah, I know, I don't tell you that enough, but, you're really, really special. Yeah, no, you're incredibly special. That you're, like, unique in all of the world. Which is a line that I like from The Little Prince. Yeah, there's this part in The Little Prince where the little prince has this rose that he's in love with that's back on his planet. And he, tends to her. His planet is really small and tiny, and there's just one rose on the entire planet. And, he takes care of her. He puts like a glass cover over her at night and makes sure that the caterpillars don't get to her. And when he's here on Earth, he realizes that there's lots of roses. But he goes up to them and tells them that, that they aren't special and that his flower is still unique. And she's the most unique flower in all of the world because of the love that he'd given to her and how he'd taken care of her, and that's what made her special to him. And he was telling the roses that, that they may be beautiful, but that no one would die for them because they weren't special. They were all the same, but his rose was special. It's a really beautiful part of the book. Are you thinking that you're in the mood for an 80s horror night? I think it could be fun. I think it could be enjoyable. Oh, this book? I haven't actually started this one yet. It sold me when it said one of the year's most chilling novels. And then it melds the mystery genre with the supernatural for a psychological thriller that is as scary as it is enthralling. Now that's a good review. Crisp mysterious and scary, reminiscent of Stephen King. Yeah, so that kind of like piqued my interest, you could say. I was thinking I would read it this weekend. Just go out on the balcony and do a little reading. I love the smell of books, don't you? Such a good smell. I remember when I was little, I used to go into the library and I just would like open the books like this and kind of fan them out. And I just loved the smell of like the old pages of the older books. They had such a distinct scent to them. Something very like intoxicating about it. I haven't been in a library for a really long time, but I do love the smell of an old book. It's kind of a nice sound too, don't you think? Just scratching of the pages. Your beard looks nice. And you look very nice. I'm so glad that you're home. I was really missing you. I know, but I just, whenever you come home, it's just the highlight of my day. Yeah, my hair is like a little wild. Yeah, I can only really comb it with this kind of a comb because I've been braiding it lately. And if I comb it with like a regular brush, it would just make it look really, really frizzy. So I got this wide tooth comb so that I could comb my hair and not have it end up like a giant tumbleweed poofy mess. It's not really the look I was going for. I kind of just, you know, it's the same as like a regular brush, but it just doesn't make it turn all poofy. But yeah, I just didn't want to keep putting, you know, like heat on my hair and blow drying it. So I just thought it'd be easier at night, like when my hair is wet and I get out of the shower, just to put it in some braids and then fall asleep with it wet and just have it dry, kind of curly. It's just really an easy way of doing my hair. Plus, you know, it's not damaging because I'm not using the heat from the blow dryer or whatever. Yeah, and I can comb your hair a little too. I'm so glad you like this. This is like my new obsession. It just makes such a unique taste. You know, I just love that little kick of the ginger. Do you like ginger on your sushi? I don't really. I don't know. It kind of detracts from like the taste of the fish, but I do love it in this. Well, I think that we've done enough jibber jabbering. Why don't we go get on the couch, get some blankets, get all comfy and cozy. I will make some popcorn. Put on a scary movie. Get all nice and cuddled up. And we'll just enjoy the rest of our night together. What do you say? Are you on board? Perfect. Alright. You get the blanket. I'll make the popcorn. And